Hi everyone. This week we're heading over to Africa. We're going to go and visit Kenya, which lies in East Africa on the equator. It's a country that's over 500,000 square kilometres, with Uganda at its west, with Tanzania at its south, and with Somalia and Ethiopia to the north. Of course, it has Lake Victoria sitting right in the middle, which divides where we're going to in this episode, which is the Masai area from the Serengeti. We're going to actually meet some Masai warriors, go and meet their traditional villages to see how they live, and then go on safari with a Masai warrior. It was an absolutely incredible experience. Let's go and see the Big Five, go and see our cheetahs, our lions, the wildebeest migration, and much, much more. It's time for Jason's Journeys, everyone. I'm Jason Ross. Let's go to Kenya. As you remember from last week, we met our Masai warrior guide who took us into his village so we could see how the Masai live to this day. We got to see their traditional dancing, and then the next morning we got up early and headed into the national park on a wild and bumpy ride to go and see the Big Five and go and see the wildlife in the Masai Mara National Park. Well, now we're back again to do it all on day 2, so let's get back into it, shall we? So day 2, and we made our way back into the reserve. We got to see some old friends we'd met on the way through on the first day, and then made our way deep into the heart to see those that were going to become the hunted and the potential menu for the day. They looked jittery and we felt jittery too as we headed into the depths of the Masai Mara. Seeing these majestic animals in their natural habitat is incredible, and when you see them at a distance and then have them come closer and closer till they're right up and personal in front of you is a wild experience. At an altitude of 5,000 feet, the Masai Mara is actually milder than I expected. The daytime temperature rarely gets above 30 degrees, which is not something I expected in Africa, and at night it drops to no less than 15 degrees. It has a rainy season, a dry season, and the hottest time of year is December and January. So pick your time well and remember the wildebeest migration. You get to see animals of all types and all sizes, from the babies through to the adults. But there was one big animal that we hadn't seen yet, so our guide took us to go and see one of the biggest and the most dangerous animal in all of Africa. So let's check him out. Okay, so behind us we've come to a little river here in the Masai Mara where there's some hippopotamus. Now don't be fooled by the cute little face and the cute little eyes and ears. They're the most dangerous animal in Africa. More people get killed by hippopotamus than crocodile, lion, you name it, every other animal combined. Hippopotamus kill more. Under the water they move really quickly, and on land they can actually move up to 25 kilometres an hour, which is a hell of a lot faster than you and I. So don't be fooled, but they are cute animals, and here they are submerging and trying to keep cool in pretty hot climate. Let's have a closer look. In recent years, many fatal attacks have been reported in Kenya and Zambia. If approached too quickly or separated from the young, hippopotamus will charge, flip boats and crush victims with their giant incisor teeth. The best thing is to be gentle and not make noise when approaching them. They get easily startled, but you can escape just as easily if you practice some stealth. having seen all the wildness and the taking down of animals for their own carnivorous ends, it got us all hungry ourselves, so we had to look around, and believe me, it was difficult to find a quiet patch of savanna grass so that we could stop and have lunchtime and reflect on what we'd seen. As we started to make our slow trek out of the Masai Mara, I got to think of the annual cycle. Each year, far south in the great vastness of the Serengeti, the wildebeest in their millions raise their dignified heads, and as if by one, they start their long trek to the Kenyan border and the Masai Mara. After exhausting the grazing in Tanzania's northern Serengeti, the wildebeest and zebra enter the National Reserve at the end of June, drawn by the sweet grass raised by the long rains of April and May. Herds draw large packs of predators, especially hyenas and lions, and thousands of the lame and sick will never complete the annual cycle. Many die by drowning, at the teeth of a cunning crocodile, or die trying to cross the swirling muddy waters of the Mara River. Once the Masai Mara's grass has been devoured and the fresh rain in Tanzania has brought forth new grass, the herds then turn south, heading hundreds of kilometres back to the Serengeti and Ngorongoro plains. There the young are dropped in time to grow sufficiently strong to undertake the annual cycle again, where they'll be prey for the lions and various other predatory animals that exist in the plains of the Serengeti and Masai Mara. And as we left the national park, the last image I had was a group of cheetahs who, working in tandem, teamed up to bring down yet another wildebeest for a final snack, showing me the complete circle of life. It happened so quickly I couldn't get my camera out in time, but you can see the result. It just reminded me of just how precious the life cycle is here in the Serengeti and Masai Mara. If you come to Africa, make sure you go on safari, everyone. Anyway, let's keep going, shall we? Because coming up after the break, we head out and make our way down to Tanzania and head towards Mount Kilimanjaro for the rest of our African Odyssey. I'll see you after the break, everyone. Don't go away.